Yeah, Blake. First, I just wanted to ask you about the scrimmage Saturday, the opportunity to get back out there, and also your decision to actually come back for an extra year.
Yeah, so on the scrimmage, very exciting to get fans back in the stadium, kind of get some reactions from them just with what we're going to put on the field this year. And just coming back, man, I didn't really have a choice being from the state of Arkansas and being from a small town. I mean, I always tell everybody that, I really didn't have a choice. This is my dream and kind of living my dream. So really had nothing else to do, so come back, work on my master's and play for the Hogs. Can't get better than that.
The young tight ends, and I'm kind of drawing a blank, but there's Colin Sutherland.
Yep, Nate Johnson, Zach Lee. Yep.
Yeah. What have you seen out of those guys, their progress? And
man, you can't say enough about them guys. I mean, whenever you come into college, you kind of get overwhelmed. You know what I mean? And to see them kind of just look at us, look at me and Hud and Nathan Bax, and then kind of look at us, and they're growing from us. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like it's cool for us to see that we can like take them and kind of ground them, you know what I mean, and put them in a good learning environment. But man, their transition into this program has been really, really good for them and good for us. You know what I mean? Because now we think about things at a different level from what they're seeing it for the first time. So yeah, I mean, I love them guys, and we need to keep bringing them along as a group, as an older guy group.
Thanks,
Nikki.
Hey Blake, do you guys see the tight end role changing in any way? Maybe with Coach Kennedy's influence, or what in general is the main focus of getting better this spring?
I don't see us changing at all. I mean, obviously we want to get better. That's obviously one of our things that we always strive to do. But as far as like a schematic standpoint and all that stuff, no. We're going to be putting opportunities and we're going to be putting in place that we can make plays, and it's on us to make them. You know what I mean? We got to make them on a consistent basis. And Coach Kennedy has been a great impact to me and to our room. He gives us another way of looking at things. He gives us other ways of saying things. And it's really, really helped me, and it's really helped our guys. So I think that just the change in the room has been really, really good for us. But like as a offense and as tight ends and stuff, we always want to get better. And I feel like this year it's going to be really good.
Otis.
Yeah, Nikki kind of got my question. But okay, in 3 years you've had Coach Lonnie, then Coach Cooper, and now Coach Kennedy. Just what is the biggest adjustment when you get a new coach? I mean, a new assistant in at your position. What's it like to change that often on coaches?
Yeah, I mean, like I told Miss Nikki, I think he was a great asset to us as football players. You know what I mean? He comes in and immediately grabs our respect just with his intensity and with the attention to detail that he gives us, and he trusts us. You know what I mean? Like that's the number one thing that as a football player, changing coaches, you want a guy that comes in and he trusts you, and then we trust him, and we just kind of progress our relationship from there. And I mean, he's a very vocal guy, and he gets on us. You know what I mean? He holds us to a standard that we need to be held at. And yeah, I mean, he's been a great asset to our room. And like with the coaching change, I mean, it is what it is. But at the same time, like Coach Pittman hired a great football coach for us. You know what I mean? And we appreciate that. And Coach Kennedy, I mean, he looks at us like his sons. You know what I mean? So he coaches us hard, and he gets on us, and he praises us whenever we do good. So that's just part of it.
How's Hudson looking this spring? He's
looking really, really good. Hudson's made huge gains. I think in the weight room and getting stronger, and just the bond that we have in the tight end room, it's just kind of filtering off on other people too. Not ever growing apart, not ever having any bad days, just kind of leading by example. I mean, Hudson is the definition of that guy. So he's doing really good, and I'm proud of Hudson.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Dudley.
Since you've been here, y'all have gone through a few quarterbacks, and you're going to have a new starter again this year. Talk about those guys, how they're looking this spring, at least the ones that are here.
Man, our quarterback room is full of athletes. We know that. Malik and then KJ, and they're just athletes out there playing ball, and it's a great shakeup for us. And like I said, a guy's going to have to step up, and I think both of them guys are very, very capable of making plays in this league, and I'm excited to see them play.
Nate?
Just after those years of being strictly a blocking tight end, is there a different approach after last year where you were a big part of the passing game?
Yeah. I mean, as far as a blocking tight end, I've been that for a while, and I kind of want to transition into a ball catcher, and I've lost some weight, about 257, 256 right now. So that's been one of my points of emphasis this off season, and hopefully, that'll get me moving better and I feel better and all that kind of stuff. But that's probably the biggest emphasis for me, kind of making the transition into this offense, was just working this off season and trying to cut a little bit of weight and get to moving a little bit better.
Coach, when you're losing the weight, they talked about Sam did about the 3rd and 3 wanting to run the ball, and that you still feel you can block.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I've always hang my hat on the run blocking part of football. That's the trenches, and that's what Coach Pittman. That's the number one thing. Whenever you got to get 3, you got to have a guy that'll go in there and just get you 3. So I feel like with my weight, I'm going to cut to just enough. You know what I mean, to where I can still pride myself on my blocking and catch little balls, have a little bit of fun.
Thank you.
Tom?
Yeah, Blake, I'd say it's a little uncommon for a guy to go from walk on and, fight through those years and then become a team leading voice. What's that been like for you?
Yeah, well, for one, it's a blessing, to be up here for 6 years, I think it is, and kind of be what I came in and just kind of work myself to where I am now. It feels like a blur, honestly. Just feels like a blur, and it feels like I know I've been living the dream for a long time, so just kind of thinking back on it and, talking with my parents. They're the number one people that I talk to, on a consistent basis, and just kind of looking back on it and seeing where I was whenever I got here to where I am now. It's like, wow, it just kind of flew by. But the transformation that I've made in my personal life and in school and football, it's just all been a blessing.
What specifically were your points of improvement? Where you need to get better this season?
I would say, obviously, get more involved in the ball catching aspect of the game. Our offense will put us in some really, really good, positions to make plays as tight ends. That's kind of what we're built around. We're like a Swiss Army knife of the offense. So if we can master that part of being on the football team, be just as good as it ever was. So I think just sharpening that knife on that Swiss Army knife, and being more of a threat as moving forward is the biggest thing for me.
Coach Pittman said you guys were going to widen your ends a little. What have you noticed from a blocking aspect, how that maybe changed things?
Yeah, I mean, as far as them they're just playing more aggressive. We're trying to get some aggressive pass rushers, and we definitely see that as tight ends. We're going to get up against them guys every day. So it's really cool to see the transformation. Like Eric was in here earlier, and dude's made a 100% progression in his game, just because a year in football and he's changed his body and he looks totally different, and it's been fun to go up against them guys every day, and I think that's the biggest thing for us is Coach Pittman's making adjustments on defense, and we have to make them on offense too. But it's been cool to see them guys grow over the past year now that we're a week into camp,
All right. My last question. You got any people coming up Saturday, and how stoked are you guys to go in front of the fans?
Yeah, all Lamar will be there. You know that. Yep. Mom, dad, sister, cousin, their cousin, everybody.
Yeah, it's been a while since you've done like something like this in front of the home folks. How's that feel?
It feels really good. Like I said, it's just part of what the world we live in today. But we talked all last year about everybody from my hometown that didn't get to come. Whenever I got more involved in the offense, everybody was trying to come. And just the world we live in wasn't allowing that. So yeah, it's going to be fun. There's going to be a lot of people here, and Razorback Nation will be here, and it'll be fun. A lot of fun.
Appreciate you, Blake.
Yep.
Hutch?
These guys asked most of my questions, but you said earlier you're working on your master's. What's your degree in, and what you getting your master's in?
My master's is in operations management and engineering, and then my bachelor's is I graduated last May with it, and it is sports management.
So you pretty much gonna be able to finish this master's while still playing football with your sixth year?
Yeah, I'll be done in December, so that'll be fun.
Cool.
Yep.
All right, Trey, wrap us up.
Blake, I got just one last question for you, and it's about Marcus Henderson, who worked at tight end with you guys, split time, I guess, back and forth, offensive tackle, tight end, and now he's over at offensive tackle. I was curious what kind of progress you have seen from him from the time you got to know him to now where he is.
Yeah, like I said, Marcus was in our room for a long time, and we got really close, and that, to me, that doesn't leave once he leaves the room. We kind of carry that relationship over, and I check in on Marcus all the time. I walk by his locker every single day. we're always talking, and Marcus just kept his nose down and kept working. Whenever things got hard, or whenever, he had to be put in situations, and like I said, moving from line to tight end back to line, he took that and ran with it. He took everything since he's been here as an opportunity, and hats off to Marcus, because I love that guy, and he's really growing as a football player and a man, just by his mentality that you see every day, because it takes a special guy to do that. So yeah,
Appreciate
Marcus
it.
is doing good.
Thank you.
All right, that wraps us up. Thanks, Colonel.
Go Hogs.
Wow, what a